Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is prepositional phrase 82. The prepositional phrase today is by default. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot? Do it right now. Let's get right to it. If something happens by default, it happens because of the absence of any opposing action, or because something else which may have stopped or altered it has not happened. Okay, let's continue. The word default entered English around the 13th century, meaning a failure or a failure to act. That's important. And it came from the Old French default, meaning fault, default, or failure. All right, let's continue. And we got 4 examples to show just how it'll be used. Here's the first one. The other Little League team did not have enough players to show up for the game, so we were declared victorious by default. Yeah, I do remember this. For a very short time when I was young, I was in Little League. That was one of the rules. If for some reason, I don't know, maybe the kids were busy, the parents didn't have them go that day, and they didn't have at least 9 players show up that could, cover the field, the other team will just win. They don't even have to play. And I also seen that they had that old movie, The Bad News Bears. They won a couple of games that way too, where the other team didn't have enough players to show up, so they win by default. Okay, let's continue. If something happened to the president and vice president, like if they were both killed or incapacitated in some way, at the same time, the leader of the House of Representatives is third in line and would become president by default. They're not being voted in or nobody chose them. That's just the way the system is. All right, number 3 here. He won his seat by default rather than popularity. He had nobody from the opposing party challenging him. Yeah, sometimes like in the House of Representatives, maybe the other party did not have a good candidate. There's nobody there. So he's running against nobody. So there's only one person to vote for. So he wins by default, basically. All right, and number 4 here. He got out of paying his speeding ticket by default because the policeman did not show up in court to challenge his not guilty plea. Yeah, in America, if you get a speeding ticket, to be honest, the majority of the time you are guilty, and most people just check off they are guilty and pay the fine. But you could try to go to court and say that you are not guilty, that the policeman was wrong. In most cases, the policeman will still show up, but every now and then, if you did this, or I've heard about this, or if you do this, you put it in, maybe the policeman does not show up that day. And if the policeman does not show up that day, that's it. You don't have to pay your ticket. It's over. You get out of paying it by default because the policeman has to be there representing the state for you to get it. Maybe he was busy for some reason, or there was some emergency. He couldn't come that day. And anybody who tried to fight the ticket, who showed up in court, to declare they're not guilty on that particular scheduled day, they don't have to pay the ticket. It's by default. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it's informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.